Hey, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Fantasy Football Expo Exhibitor podcast. We have got some really cool people here tonight. They're with a company with a game called Prop Dex. What is Prop Dex? Well, guess what? Ryan Moreau and Cedric Kennedy are going to tell us next. Boom, here we are. Another night, another interview of one of our great exhibitors, another rookie. Get your rookie cards out. Get your grade, start grading the cards. We're gonna have a card of Ryan Moreau, Cedric Kennedy of Prop Dex. They already got the jersey. Show them the jersey, Cedric. Very cool. Prop Dex, got it. So, guys, welcome to the show. I've seen that. I've been on your site. I've seen this. This looks so cool. I can't wait for you guys to explain it to the folks to start doing this. It is such a neat idea. Really love this. But first off, Ryan, Cedric, just introduce yourselves. Where you call, where you coming, calling in from here, and then we'll get rolling from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Cedric Kennedy, calling in from the city of the next Super Bowl champions, the Detroit Lions. So calling from Detroit.
Nathan, we're talking to you, bro.
So yeah,
Nate Cheatham, big Lions fan. He's going to be very happy to meet you guys.
one pride, Nate. Thank you. No, Bob, appreciate it. Appreciate you having us on the show today. Really excited to talk to y'all, and I'll pass it over to you, Ryan.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm Ryan Moreau. I'm calling in from St. Louis, Missouri, right in the middle of the state there. I grew up outside the way in Detroit, so I'm a huge Lions fan myself. Just really excited to talk to you guys today about Prop Dex.
Yeah, no, and being Lions fans a lot better than being Browns fans. But I know Lions fans have been there with us down in the trenches, we'll call it, to be politically correct instead of the dumps. But anyway, guys, we're really excited for you to be here. So before we get into this whole Prop Dex and what it's about, what we're going, let's take that fine step back. Let's get the little we're going way back in time. Talk about your first experience with fantasy football. Who got you started? How old were you? What year was it? How did that first year go for you? So whoever wants to go first can. So.
Yeah, my first year of fantasy, if I look way back at it, it was I remember it was the year after Chris Johnson hit his 2,000 yards. So I remember it being a big thing, and I didn't know anything about fantasy football, so I was working at a sports bar at the time.
There you go. Okay.
And I was a waiter, bartender, and the kitchen manager was like, we need an extra guy, so join our league. And they did a random pick, a random draft order, and I got the first pick. So he gave me a cheat sheet. Chris Johnson at the top. I didn't even know who Chris Johnson was at the time. I was just a big Lions fan.
Okay.
So he runs for 2,000 yards. I don't know who he is. So I picked him. That was my first overall pick, and I ended up losing in the championship that year. So the first season,
that's a good first year, man.
Right? Very lucky.
Yeah, very good. Because Johnson didn't have a great. He didn't obviously didn't hit 2,000 again. I can't remember. Did he have a good year, or was it just like below average?
Yeah, he didn't live up to the 2,000, but I know it was probably like 10 touchdowns, 1,300 yards, something like that.
So it didn't. I mean, it would have been great for anybody else, but after he does that, you expect the world, right?
Exactly.
Never happened. So Ryan, what about you?
And it's been downhill for you ever since, Cedric. Right?
Hey, hold on.
That's your first year.
I'm in like 80 leagues right now and counting. So I'm in a lot of leagues.
In quick with Ryan. Very nice.
So Cedric actually got me into it. We worked at a restaurant together in college, sports bar, and became close friends. Both Lions fans. Got me into the league, and we've been running that same league for 12 years now. I think I finally won my first championship 2 years ago. So I finally got that monkey off my back, and I don't get shamed as much as I used to. And I think I have the same amount as Cedric now. So,
Ooh, okay. So this is the year. One of you have to take that step forward, huh? You should, same league, right?
We're in same league. So we've got a couple leagues. Legitimately, I'm in about 80 leagues right now and counting.
Ooh, I thought I was pretty high at 15. Are they all like straight, or there's a lot of best ball?
No, right now it's all redraft and dynasty. I'll start my best ball drafting here soon, but like side story, my wife and I developed a
Wait a
different
minute,
app.
you have a wife and you have 80 leagues? My wife barely can stand me, and I have 15.
She's in a lot of my leagues.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, God bless you, son. Yeah,
Yep.
my wife couldn't name 5 NFL players if her life depended on it.
She
So
was
good for
actually
you.
back-to-back champion, and she made it to 5 championships in our league. She's a wizard. So
Wow. So you're bringing her to the event so that we can talk real fantasy and
yeah, exactly.
cool stuff, great stuff.
You
So
send her trade offers.
obviously, go ahead. What, Ryan?
She's no bullshit. You send her trade offers and she'll just shame you for weeks. So you gotta stay away from
Isn't that a wife's job to shame your? Oh no, you're not her husband. That's right. But still, to shame men. I mean, isn't that kind of what they do?
Yeah.
Especially in fantasy football. Trust me, I've played in leagues with some of these women of fantasy out there, and you're right, they're tough. They don't take grief any more bullshit than anybody else does. So
Right.
cool. Well, let's talk about that journey then. From that spot, you guys are friends, playing leagues together, known each other for a long time. Where did Prop Dex come into play? When did it started that percolation of, percolating in your heads of, I've got an idea. Let's give this a shot.
Ryan, you go ahead, take this one.
Yeah, obviously, Cedric and I are huge fantasy enthusiasts, and we're always looking for kind of new ways to play the game. We've always really wanted to work together as well, but never could find anything that we're both passionate about.
Right.
And so, one day an idea kind of popped up in my head, and I didn't know kind of what it was yet. It was mostly like a card-based fantasy football game. I'm like, it's kind of like Dynasty, make it daily fantasy sports. And then I'm like, the thought popped up in, how do you make this, not pay to win? How do you make it fair? And that's where the idea of props came in, where each card would have this basically the prop line on them that you'd have to hit in order to earn points. And that's kind of how the idea started. And it started kind of rolling from there.
Yep.
Cool. Cedric, any more to add?
Yeah, I mean, I still remember the day I was driving down to Detroit for work, and Ryan shared that idea, and I was like, I know all about props, especially losing my 6-7 leg parlays that I always like to put together. So,
Right.
but yeah, no, we started talking about it and just thought, what could we do? How could we get something out just to kind of test if there was interest? And neither of us really had any true coding experience. So he and I just put our heads together and started to draw out some ideas, just talked about it for a couple of weeks, and then decided, let's just make this happen. And we started to look into different AI support tools online, and then just started looking and learning on the way. So then we built this initial beta app last year and had a really small closed off beta, about 100 users who gave us some really solid feedback. These are all random people we didn't really know. And there was such positive feedback and so many ideas that they threw at us that we were like, we got to take this to the next level. So here we are. We redesigned the whole UI. We've rebuilt the app. We got a lot of really cool stuff. Really excited to introduce it at the expo.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about Prop Dex, how it works, how do you play, and then we'll talk about then how people can sign up, when they can sign up. I know now there's a join wait list, so assuming right now that's all you can do. But talk about how the cards come into play. I mean, so propdex.com, for those of you keeping track at home, is the site to go to. Very well done. A lot of good information. But just walk through people who may not have a computer in front of them to kind of explain how it all works.
Yeah, absolutely. So we want to make it as fun as possible, but while making it easy. And Ryan talked a lot about the card collection. So it really starts with this idea where you're going to be collecting these unique cards that have a variety of different levels or tiers to them. But if you're familiar with daily fantasy football and props in general, you should be familiar with how the gameplay is going to work. So basically, as you go ahead and collect cards, you're going to start growing your collection of your different players. And those players become the options you can choose from to set your daily lineups. Each card is equipped with a stat-based challenge that goes from easy to very difficult. So you'll see 3 different tiers of cards. So you've got common cards, epic cards, and legendary. So as we're pulling in real odds from different sports books, we're actually manipulating them to make them easier or more difficult based on the different tier of the card.
Okay.
And you submit the cards you think are going to hit. If they do, you get the points that are essentially assigned to that card.
Okay.
And then you're competing against a community of those in that contest. And basically the winners then can win prizes. And winners are the teams that score the most points.
Sure. Right. So how do you get the cards? Do you buy them? Do you collect? I mean, how, or is it if you get, do you use the points to buy more cards? How does the obtaining of cards, and can you trade cards with other people? So talk about the cards itself, because that one intrigues me. Like, how do you get these cards?
Yeah, so it's a digital card collecting game, and the cards are all available via packs. So users, upon signing up, will get a certain amount of packs to start their deck, so they can immediately enter contests from day one. And then users will also have like a daily pack that they can open every day. And then they'll also be able to purchase like higher tier packs that have a higher likelihood of having those epics and legendary cards that are worth more points within a contest.
Okay.
And then through contests as well, people can earn points and then spend them on packs. So it's kind of how it works.
Now, I assume to make it more, that's what I'm looking for, easier to get through as a legal perspective, there's no winning of money, you win prizes, correct? I think I heard you say prizes and not cash. So what prizes can you win with your points?
So you can actually win cash. We've
Oh, okay.
gone through the compliance and regulations in about 20 states. So we're going to be
Okay.
able to start actually operating
Oh, okay, cool.
20 states. There's a lot of work to be done to continue expanding. So this year one is what we're calling our phase one.
Sure.
And there's, depending on the states that you're looking at, there's different like levels of barriers of entry, depending on the price to like get permits for daily fantasy. The states that we're operating in, we're actually perceived as a daily fantasy tool, not a sports betting app, because you're not betting the book and you're betting in a community of people and there's enough gamification to it. So it's not sports betting, it's more daily fantasy. So it's still limited at this point in terms of where you're going to be able to play. And there's an FAQ on the page. There's a list of the states that will be operating in the beginning.
So for important question, is Ohio one of them?
I believe Ohio is one of them. Michigan, Ohio, two of them. Yes.
Let's say, because I want to play.
Yes.
Awesome. No, that's great. Yeah. So basically, you're doing this every week. So it's not season long. You're playing DFS style. So every weekend is a new game against the people in. Is it a league or is it against everybody, or how does that work?
Yeah, in the beginning, we've got a couple different game styles, and we're going to expand all of the different game variations moving forward. So, I mean, Ryan and I've talked about like season-long type of games that you'll be able to enter. But right now, the initial gameplays are going to be whether it's like once a week on a Sunday, and you're logging in, you're setting your lineup, and you're competing against other people from around the country that are also competing in that same contest. But we're also going to have limited games where we'll have Thursday night games, Monday night game contests, full week contests. So you can enter in your league from like across the different games. And then we'll have, Ryan, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we'll have some head-to-head games as well where you can compete against your own friends. You can kind of create your own pool and keep that private to the people that you want to play against as well. And we got a lot of ideas for a lot of other games as as well that we're going to be introducing throughout the season.
So then once you get your cards, you can't lose them, right?
Correct. You keep them forever. Yep.
Keep them forever. Okay. Can you trade cards?
Yes.
Yes. Excellent. Good. All right. I'm loving this every second. Every question you answer, I'm even more into this. So let's talk about that. When can people sign? So it looks like you said there's a nice big green button right corner of the top of the website says join waitlist. So right now, if anybody wants to get involved in the future, they click that button, put in their info, and then they're on a wait list. Am I correct?
Correct. And July 1st will be the day where you'll be able to create an official account and begin collecting your cards in preparation for the upcoming season. So every day you log in, you'll get reminders, but every day that you log in, you'll be able to open up your daily pack, which will be cards that you'll get to add to your collection. And We wanted to give enough time so that people could create a pretty large collection leading up to the season. Obviously, the more cards you have, the more variety you have to choose from when you do these contests. So that'll be the beginning. And then the props will start week 1 once the season opens up.
Okay. So if you have let's say Josh Allen over 285 yards passing, just throw that out. That could be a card I have, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
I assume that would be, now is that a middle of the road, not an easy, not a hard? Where am I at here?
It's probably on the easy side.
Okay. Let's say Allen usually puts up 300 passing, but not always, but
Yeah.
So then I have the ability to play that every week regardless, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So doesn't matter if he's playing in the snow, rain, cold, perfect day. That card is mine. That prop is mine, and I can take over.
And the props update weekly based off of matchups as well in card team.
So that's what I was looking for. Does that number change? And it sounds like that is yes. Okay. Because I'm like, man, if you have like nice card like that, you just pick, if you got something like that,
now we are going to be introducing a new card. It's an overlay that we're calling the Joker card. So basically, if you unlock it, a Joker face appears on the card, and what's going to happen is you can essentially override the prop, and there's a slider, so you can choose the prop line, and then the points that are awarded will be adjusted based on the difficulty you choose. So you can make it as easy as possible, and maybe you'll get 1 point, or you can make it incredibly difficult and get 80 points, right? So,
wow, that's a big swing. Guys, this is so fun, and I haven't even played it yet, and I'm already digging it. This is great stuff. Anything else you guys want to share about the game that I didn't ask?
Yeah, I can elaborate on a few points. So, like your Josh Allen example, a 280-yard Josh Allen card would probably be like a common card. Probably has like a 80 to 90% hit rate or something like that. Play that in the lineup, it may be only worth 10 points, right? You may have a Josh Allen legendary card, 1 prop legendary card that may be 380 yards passing.
Ooh.
That card's worth 50 points. So if that card hits, you get 50 points. So there's kind of a strategic balance too, because if you play some of the lower tier cards, you start to build up streak points as well. Like you're hitting a parlay. So if you play several commons, you start building up those streak points. Then you kind of got to balance risk and reward as well to play those lower tier cards with maybe a higher tier card that you think is going to hit that week based off of the matchups or whatever you think. And then the epics and legendaries can have 2 to 3 props. So you might have a 1 prop Josh Allen that's 380 yards, but you might have a 2 prop Josh Allen that's the same difficulty, but it's about 320 yards and 2 touchdowns. So there's there's some balance there where you got lots of lineup variations.
So question. The way I'm hearing this is you can never take the under. It's got to hit the over, correct?
Correct. And the way to take
the under 380, I'm taking the under every time. Okay, so it has to, when you play the card to win, it has to go over the prop on the card. Got it.
Right.
Okay, that makes things make more sense, because well, if you have it that high, you just take the under. I was like, okay, that seems too easy. Okay, okay. So I just asked the obvious question, got the obvious answer.
Right.
No, good stuff. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just had to ask that because I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and playing a common card is almost equivalent to kind of taking the under, where you're kind of taking a safe bet in some ways. Whereas if you play the epic or a legendary, you're saying, oh, this player's going to go off this week. I want the points.
Right.
But those are also the cards too, where if you do take that chance and say the chances of Josh Allen getting 380 is like 2%.
Yeah.
If he is, and you play that card, you're going to get 50 points versus a common that's worth 10. So you set a whole lineup of commons.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, and that's what I love. It's like, it's a strategy. I mean, it's no different than regular fantasy football. You just have a little bit of a different way of looking at it,
Yeah, the success.
When you're playing your third wide receiver and you got 3 to pick from, you're like, well, this guy could go off there, but this guy could be, and me, I write all about consistency and my consistency guide and all that stuff I have out there. So as a consistency guy, I'm like, okay, I want the consistency, but In this game, that could be beneficial if you're like, well, their floor is 280. You're like, okay, well, I'll play the 280 because I know it's a guaranteed 10 points. Great. If they all hit, is that enough to win? That's the key. So that's kind of the strategy you're kind of playing with is do I play all safe? And if all safe hits, cool. And you talked about the streaks. So if you get them, then that might get some points. So I see the strategy. My head's spinning. I'm literally won't sleep tonight. No, guys, this is great. I can't wait. So let's talk about the expo. Your guys are coming first year. You've lived this close and took this long. I'm not sure what happened. No, I'm just kidding. So how did you find out about it? Did somebody tell you? Did you see it on social media? How did you guys hear about the expo and it happening here in Canton?
Ryan, I think did you find it and you shared it with me?
Just Google. I mean, just looking for ways to get the word out and start talking about prop decks. We had a beta last year, and we were just got to the point where we're like, okay, let's do this. Let's start trying to market this and stuff like that. And so I was just looking for, potential expos on Google, and I think you guys were the first one. So
because we're the only one. Don't tell anybody. No, and that's great. I would hope it'd show up first. But no, thanks. And I'm glad you found it. And I'm excited for you guys to come. So talk about what you guys are bringing to the expo. What's your booth going to be like? Do you got any cool prizes, cool contests? Tell us a little bit about what you got planned for your booth at the expo.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, outside of a lot of just excitement and what we call our hype crew, blood, we have a group of guys, we call ourselves a hype crew. It's what our 12-year ongoing league has been called. But at the booth, we're going to be bringing a couple different things. There's going to be some games that we're going to be playing. I'll be bringing a Detroit Lions bags board, but we're also right now designing some actual physical versions of these virtual cards. So that's going to be something that people will be able to walk away with. So we're going to be a couple of varieties of those that we're going to be bringing. We're going to have a spin wheel. There's going to be some surprises there, some prizes. So we haven't finalized on them, but I think one of the prizes that we're going to have is 2 tickets to an NFL game. If you win, contact us. It'll be to your favorite team. Right. So it's
come to watch the Lions play.
So yeah, right. I mean, the Lions are playing at the Hall of Fame game, aren't they? Right?
They are the week before the expo. Yes. So you should just come to town, watch that, stay all week. Exactly. I got extra rooms in my house. Just hang out here. It's fine.
You said it live. We can't take that back now. So
yeah.
No, absolutely. But I think, a lot of fun, stop on by. We'll have ability to test the game too, in a live demo environment. You'll be able to check it out and kind of play with that too. But there'll be a few of our team members down at the booth, and excited to meet everybody. This looks like a blast. I can't wait to see.
I think you guys are doing a product demo too, right?
Yes, we are. Yes.
Right.
We'll
definitely check that out. So that'll be scheduled during the day in that our sports betting / product demo area. Obviously will be recorded. So if you do miss it, we're going to be putting it on our Expo YouTube channel so everybody can watch it. You guys can download it and use it for future purposes as well. What about the jerseys? Will there be jerseys given away, raffled off? How do we get a prop deck jersey? That's what.
Yes, we'll be bringing a few of our prop deck jerseys. We'll raffle those off. It's going to be one of the prizes on the spin wheel as well. So definitely bring in prop deck jerseys, and also exciting. So in our fantasy leagues every year, we always have some professional athlete announce our draft. We've had a variety of athletes do it. And usually what we do is then to announce it to our league, Ryan and I always put on something goofy, we either write a song and to announce it. It's a big, we create a video. You can find them on YouTube and whatnot. But we're also big karaoke connoisseurs. So if there is a karaoke bar during that time, Ryan and I will be performing an original for the Fantasy Football Expo. So this is a surprise to
Ryan. So just to let you know how close you are to the vest.
Yes.
We throw a karaoke after party at the hotel after the expo on Sunday.
I'm bringing the
from
keyboard.
7 to 11.
Ryan, I'm bringing the keyboard.
Bringing the keyboard.
So you will fit right in, my friends, because that's one thing these people love. And then that'll end like 10 or 11. And then everybody will jump in cars and drive to this little dive bar outside of Canton called Jose's Landing, where they actually have a guy who does karaoke the rest of the night there. And so they'll go over there and sing till the bar's closed. So, yes, you will fit in very well if you guys are into karaoke for sure.
Awesome. Let's go.
Yeah. So looks like Prop Dex is going to take over Canton, folks. So get ready. Here they come. No, guys, great stuff. So excited for you to come. I think you guys are pretty excited for it too. Can't wait. Before we go, just again, give us whatever websites, all the socials, where they can find you guys, how they can sign up for the wait list, all that kind of stuff, and then we'll take it out from there.
Yeah, check out propdex.com. Join the waitlist now. If you join the waitlist, we're going to send you a link on July 1 to set up a new account. Starting July 1, everybody who signs up for an account, there's going to be some really cool promo codes. So if you deposit, your first deposit there, we're going to do matches on that end. Nice. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff there. Every one of our social media handles, it's Prop Dex. So at Prop Dex, go to TikTok, Instagram. We're not very active on X yet, but we're working on that. So go on Facebook, YouTube. We got a couple videos that walk through the tool as well, but it's all at Prop Dex. Yeah.
PropDex.com is the site. I've already got I've got my thing sitting right on the join waitlist. So as soon as this ends, I'm joining the waitlist. But all right, well, guys, thank you again for coming. Thank you again for being part of this expo. It's always great to get new people, new ideas, new stuff. This is one of the coolest. Thank you, guys. So for Ryan, for Cedric, I'm Bob Long. Make sure you get your tickets if you haven't got them yet. TheFantasyFootballExpo.com. Come check these guys out. And as soon as I click this button, you'll see all the details you need to get all that stuff.
Thanks for watching. Lock in your 2025 football tickets now at TheFantasyFootballExpo.com. Hit subscribe and check out one of these excellent at FF Expo videos next.